Hey, what's up, man? Can you
What's
hear
up,
me?
dude? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry for
Awesome.
that delay, dude.
Oh, you're fine. No problem. I got a little bit of time here. I got my contractor doing a couple things.
Oh, okay.
Did you have access to that portal?
He quoted us like 3 days on that.
It's fine. I mean, it's like no absolute rush, but I would love to get it like maybe
Yeah,
at the end
yeah,
of the week or
absolutely.
early next week. I've been telling people like crazy. And I've actually been pitching it like this. I say, "Hey, our as a company, we like to give back to anyone that allows us to assist them. So when you move into your new place, I have $100 restaurant voucher and it's good for discounted food and there's even buy one get one food items as well at select restaurants. That way it like paints it as like discounts over like a value of like cash
Yeah,
or something like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I just kind of like explain it very quickly, like in my pitch when I talk to renters for the first time, that we're going to give them the $100 voucher and it's good for discounted items at select restaurants. And it also includes memberships. Someone got a gym membership, trial for like a week, and discounts on a lot of other activities as well. And they're like, oh, cool, that's awesome. And then I think when people ghost, you could just put the automation and make it $200, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then that way, it's like you got to be consistent though. And dude, my automations are working, by the way. I had 30 people I put in.
yeah.
The first round, three came back. The second round, three more came back. That's six. And then this one, another person came back. So 7 out of 30 people came
Yeah.
back.
That's like,
And who knows? And even if one of them closed, I'd be ecstatic, right? Like, let's
yeah,
just be
because it's
real.
thousands. That's literally we set up an automation and then you made thousands. Like if what you close one person and it's 2 grand, it's like okay, well that's 2 grand I wouldn't have had, which
Yeah.
makes all of the software. It pays off the software for
Oh,
you.
dude, bro, they came
For
back. The guy actually like some dude was like hitting my CRM up, like I want to talk to Alex. I saw like I want to get this other apartment, and then like he like called me, and I was like, he's like, dude, can I get this one? I was like, yeah, man. He goes, I'm so sorry, I was MIA for over a week. My apologies. Like I want to apply, and I was like, dude, sweet man, here's the link, bro. Call me if you need anything, and we're gonna give you. And then I say, we're gonna give you the restaurant voucher. You get discounts, and then we have our Connect utility program. It's
Yeah,
sick, bro. I got you covered on all angles. And then he's like,
yeah,
oh, cool, man. So you just have to really, I think, be consistent. And any agent that comes on or however you teach it is really, you have to just talk about it as discounted food items. And then, you offer the 100 and then they ghost, you throw 200. Hey, we're just
yeah,
started offering $200 for renters, right?
yeah,
And then, and then I think when someone's like really, really hot, I've been like brainstorming about this. When someone's like really, really hot and like they've gone to a property, they said they're going to apply. And we've probably heard this 1,000 times, me and you, with people like, oh my God, I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply. And then it's like, okay, cool. And then like all of a sudden they like ghost or like they go with another property or like something happens. I think at that point when they're so hot, you just throw them a vacation. You're like, yo, you know what? You've been so awesome and it's been great working with you. We actually have another program as well where you can get a vacation. So whether it's a property that I referred you to or one you might find on your own, since I'm your locator and I'm helping you out, as long as you
yeah.
list me as the referral source, we can send that trip out to you. And then just explain it like, yeah, you just have to pay the taxes on the room, but it's 3, 4, 5 nights, even up to a week in select cities around the world. And then
Right.
when you're ready to take the trip, I'll send it to you. And then because we partnered with this amazing travel agency, they have
Yeah.
vacant rooms and just, throw it like that so it doesn't sound weird. And then that way you'll never lose a client probably.
No,
Like
never,
it'll
never.
go down lower. And that's the whole thing because we all lose people at the end and it sucks and it's thousands and thousands of fucking dollars, right? And
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I think just to train people like that too, especially when you have salespeople who are going to be part of a brokerage, NAL eventually, once we can get like leads or however we decide to do
This
it.
will make it to where even if they're not the best agents, like as far as follow up, because I feel like decent agents can do the call. Like, it takes time. It takes a little time, but then they
Yeah.
can do the call. But then what separates like us, me and you, compared to like just decent agents is that I feel like me and you value the follow up. And like the time restraint that we have with people, we know it's like we gotta follow up, or not they're
Yeah.
gonna just disappear. And so
Yeah.
that's what I think will make I think that's a differentiator between like a 5 figure agent and then like a 6 figure agent like us is like, hey, understand that yes, you can do the call, now you're comfortable with it, but that's just like stage one. Really, the name of the game is like follow up, being consistent, waking up every day the way we do and building that discipline. Like, okay, I got these 10 people to call today and follow up with and just do the work. But most of the
Yeah.
work is like follow up. And that's
Yeah.
what keeps you relevant in their mind, and that's what is going to allow them to write your name down. Because like you said, a lot of the times they just forget because life
Yeah,
happens,
dude.
and they're like, "Oh
Right.
shit, I forgot to write your name on the app," and you're like,
Yeah.
"No."
Yeah, dude, someone just did that. I go, oh, this property. She goes, oh, I went with another property. Which one? This one. I go, and I look back at my list. I was like, I sent that one to you. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna call them right now. She's really sweet,
Yeah,
but
they're
she
really
was the
sweet.
kind of
Yeah,
person that I could have said, like where they're just looking at so many fucking buildings, and all you have to say is, listen, I'm your locator. I want to help you through every step of the way, whether it's a property you go with that you find on your own or one that I
Yes.
help refer you to. As long as you list me as your locator and the referral source, I could have told her that, and she would have been a perfect example where I would have sent her this vacation, and she
Yeah.
would have never forgot, right? And she felt
Yeah.
so bad that I'm probably not going to get paid because a guest card never went to that property. She was seeing God knows how many properties that I had sent her to and sent guest cards on. It was like a one-off I never sent to. And now I probably have to fight for my commission and I probably won't get paid. It's a very
Well,
gray area. But she said
so
she's going to go and talk to him, but I don't know.
yeah,
You know how
you
it
can
goes,
get
dude.
it, but it's another like step.
50-50, dude.
It's a 50. Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's
really
50.
50-50. It's just how you
But
explain it. And if the
okay, so
client goes to bat for you.
because she forgot to like put your name on the app, you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, she didn't
Oh,
do it.
okay. That's yeah. So when that happens, yeah, dude, it's 50-50. Now, if the client's really cool and like goes and talks to them, dude, I had a lot of clients in my career, especially when I was full time, but a
Yeah,
lot of them do that and they're like, "Oh, whoops." And I'm like, "Can you please go to the leasing offices and just tell them?" And then they
yeah,
do. Sometimes they do because they run through there anyways, if it's
yeah.
where they live. So I'll text them that and then they'll say like, yeah, sure, no problem, I can do that. And then what I do is I take that or sorry, the text message conversation screenshot, and now that's another document that I can attach to an email. So then I email the
Right.
property and I'm like, hi, I had Lindsay Lou as a client. She moved into 101. She accidentally forgot to write NAL on the application. As naturally in this business, some clients forget. This is like attached. You'll find text conversation proof that we've been talking, her guest card. That's when I attach the guest card after the fact. And I just
Yeah,
take a screenshot of like my CRM, basically like the client file and the prequal. I don't really do paper guest cards, but then I'll do a screenshot. Hey, attached is the screenshot is the guest card, the text conversation, and I've also CC'd her on this email. And so, she's gonna go into the office and like explain the situation and how she forgot. Like, it would be great if you could work with me on this because from time to time it happens. And then I CC my
yeah.
client, dude, that's worked for me 50-50 still.
Most of the time,
Still
most
50-50
all.
though. I
It
mean,
can
but
be. It depends on the client and like the manager at the end of the day. Because she said she'll
yeah.
go in there. I got her move-in date. I'll be calling her a day before. Please
But
go
what's
in there
cool,
because
dude,
it's like $2,000
is
or no money.
dude, if you in the email too, if you end it like, "Hi, Lindsay Lou, do you mind replying to this email confirming that I was instrumental in connecting you to the building?"
Yes, that
If you
helps big
end it
time.
with a call to action like that, and then you CC your client, then I would text my client because I go hard when this happens to me. It's not like it's much work, but
Yeah,
I do put that email
gotta be
together, and then
aggressive.
I text my client like right before I
Please
send it,
respond.
and I'm
Please
like,
reply all.
I'm gonna send over this email with you and the property. Can you just please reply and say yes, he was instrumental? That's it.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
I text them that and I'll voice chat and say, hey,
Yep.
so sorry to bother. I know you're done with this finding an apartment, but if you don't mind to credit me, if you can just reply to this email, just say yes, he was
Yeah.
instrumental. That would help a lot, right? And then you
Big
can just
time.
bombard them with the vouchers and everything. But dude, I've done that several times. They
Oh
respond,
yeah.
oh yeah, Pierre was instrumental in helping me. And then now the property manager is like, oh shit, the client, first of all, the client is CC'd, so they can't be rude
Right.
to you. They can't be rude to you because
Yeah.
that's their new community. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of benefits.
Right.
They can't be rude. The client is CC'd. They see the screenshots, they see the guest card, they see the invoice, and then they see the client responding, yes, he was instrumental. And that's a great
It's
case.
strong, dude.
That's
It's mad
strong.
fucking strong. The
Yeah.
only thing I get mad about is the get. If I would have sent a guest card, then they can't really argue. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." But it depends on the property manager. But don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, you start off like during the pitch of your call, it's like, "Hey, as a company, we like to give back to renters that we're able to assist during the process of finding a place. So when you move in, you get the $100 restaurant voucher, so you don't have to go digging through your pots and pans." I mean, I think I said it like 10 times over the past 2 days. And then they ghost. You throw a $200 automation first one. The
Yeah. First,
automations are good, dude. That one, three people
yeah.
came back. Then the next one, the one that people really started asking questions about, what was the name of that property where your client saved $8,000 on her lease? Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's this property. And I have similar ones just like it in your, in the area you want to be in or whatever. So it's good to see that that works and people are engaging. Actually, it's the one thing I was concerned about. This one guy engaged. He actually called my CRM and then he texted and then I just
Yeah.
called him from my cell. It didn't stop his automation. I was like digging through the messages, like, because
I'll
that's
show you how to find
embarrassing.
out. I'll show you how to find out. In the CRM, you can go to the contact file and then click on the activity and it'll show. I'll show you how to find that. Let's take a
And
look at that. Let's take a look at that. It's probably a quick fix, but we'll see let's see what happened. But before we do that, to answer your question though, I do think that you on the call you start with the $100 voucher first because
yeah,
that's
because
the
that's not
lower.
scammy. It's
Well,
low.
yeah, well, it's not that scammy. It's $100. It's better than 50. And then it's also
Then
the
you
lower
boost it to 200 when they go. So then they think
yeah,
like,
'cause it's a
wow,
lower
it's
fee.
200.
The
Yeah.
lower fee. It's like, then it's a $9 fee, like
950.
whatever it is. So yeah, I think you do that on the call. And then what else? The second thing I was gonna say is, dude, I think after we close them, we should have an automation because there is an automation when they're like closed. That we put them in like the long-term nurturing to like talk to them about a
Yeah.
house and stuff. So, about like, just warming them up on like how we can help them in the future buying a house and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Like
I
once
think
every
that,
like 2 months, you just
dude, I
get in their
think
brain.
I think that we should create an automation now that we have this offer to where once they're approved, it'll thank them and stuff, like, hey, congratulations, but also we give them something crazy, like a waived trip, right? And then
Okay.
say, hey, we want to we want you to remember us as the agent that helps you with your apartment when you're ready to buy your next house. So we're going to do something crazy and we want to offer you a waived 3-night stay to Las Vegas, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is, and say, hey, we want to probably somewhere close to Texas as well. So probably
Yeah.
Mexico, like Cancun or Vegas is not that long of a flight. But I think we should say,
Yeah.
hey, we want to give you a 4-night comped vacation to Cancun. As long as you're okay with paying the taxes on the nightly stay, we'll cover the room rate.
Yeah.
Just so you remember us as your agent. And then when you're ready to buy a house, maybe at the end of your lease or the year after, we want you to reach back out. And then
Yeah.
like say like, are you interested in that? And we can do an automation where it's like if they say yes, boom, it gives it to them. If no, we can create an automation with like the if
Yeah.
else. But I think that would be really powerful just every single time, like just by default, because I think it would be a great way to build continue nurturing and then get them to really think of because dude, if you give someone a 4-night stay to Cancun after you close them and then they
Yeah.
take advantage of it, that dude, they're not gonna ever forget you,
They
you
won't.
know, ever. And then it's like now if they want to buy a house, they're gonna think of you.
I think that's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. So
My
let's
problem is right now, I'm losing these people that are like hanging around for 60 or 70 days, move-in date, and I'm like, can you move in like 2 weeks? Like, because I know you need to make a decision now, or like 30 days. And then like they go around to 1,000 buildings and then they forget to write my name down. I'm like, I wish I could have used that vacation in this scenario. Like, because they're still like they're super hot, right? It's just how the business is. You lose people no matter what. Like they just forget. They go to another property. They forget to like,
yeah,
compensate you. I
yeah, if you
feel
don't
like
have
offering a vacation, like, hey, listen, and then you give them a pitch like that where they already have your trust. It's like, I'm not like throwing a vacation the first time I meet them or like after
yeah,
like,
it's too
dude, they've
much.
been
It's too
touring for
much.
like a month, dude, like going everywhere. And then they just forgot because I didn't follow up for like a week, but every weekend I would follow up and then I waited a few extra days and they probably just applied, God knows when.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you
you
want
lose
to do
out.
it where they come back to you. We want
Yeah.
it where they're like, wait, let's reach out to Alex because didn't he say that he's gonna
Yeah,
do this for
yeah, I'm
us?
just trying
So
to think. Like, I don't want to like extend myself or just make it like desperate, but I feel like some of these really
yeah, that's
hot people just need something more to like really remember.
well, I think that the right off the bat, I think the voucher and because it's hyper relevant, and then the NAL Connect, like setting up their utilities and stuff, and
Yeah.
how they can get better deals on Wi-Fi and internet, all that stuff. I think that's really strong, and perhaps uh, it's like I don't want to use the vacation unless it's like either after they close or if they're ghosting us.
Right.
So yeah, because
I
like
feel
if
like when they ghost, if you start throwing them a vacation, I think people think that's weird as hell. Don't you
right.
think? It's
Yeah,
like, wow,
it
you're gonna give
depends
me
on
a
how you say it.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think like the
I think
200 would be
it's all
good.
about like how you say stuff. But yeah, like right away, like if we just did a call right away, you want to give someone an offer that you can do for them that's hyper relevant and just keep it, I think, at that. So I think saying,
Yeah.
because right off, like, if you were a new client and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Pierre. I'm a locator. I'm going to help you. It's a free service. We do this in hopes that like you remember us as agents and then we can help you buy a house. That's why we do this free apartment locating thing. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, great. And you're like, yeah, and we like to help out. And so as a company, whenever you work with us and remember to write our name down, we'll give you $100 restaurant voucher. And it's really
Yeah.
cool because we know your stuff's going to be in boxes when you move in. And so then you have this $100 credit where you can use it local restaurants, try new restaurants out. A lot of our clients sometimes get like free week passes at gyms. That's part of the voucher as well if you want to try a new gym near you. And so like we just do that as a company to give back. And they're like, okay, great. And then you're like, also when you move in, we have another department that sets up your utilities and then connects you with the most affordable internet cable and basically everything you need. That's called NAL Connect. And so, we're there at every touch point where we'll help you find an apartment. That's the purpose of this this call. Then we'll give
Yeah.
you a $100 voucher, knowing your stuff is going to be in boxes. And then once you get approved, we'll refer you to our free service of helping you set up your utilities. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
then like, but don't say a vacation then because it's not
Yeah.
even
No, that's
relevant.
like
It's like, oh, and then
way.
also, Alex, I'm going to send you to Cancun for 5 days.
Yeah. You might
Like,
not
what
even need to do
the
the vacation at all. Like that could be good enough for some people, but there's some people that
right.
just hang around and they like you and they're always responding to your touch points. But then a little bit extra few days goes on because you got 1,000 other people you're talking to and a list and like, and they said, "Oh, I'm gonna go here or here." I was like, "Great," and then they chose somewhere in left field, right? And it's
Yeah,
just sometimes you can't
I might
predict
have
that
a,
though.
bro, I might have a solution for us immediately that could solve that in the best way. So you're saying that you follow up with people weekly, and then just sometimes they fall through the crack because
Yeah,
you might not follow up with everyone every Saturday.
yeah, because like
Got it.
pretty much.
Got it. And then how many leads do you work as a six-figure locator, say a busy month? Like a busy month, I would guess maybe what, 200 is like a super busy month for you.
I mean,
I feel like 100 is
in the
100 like
summer,
100's
yeah,
good.
like
100 is good.
like a
That's pretty
hundred this
busy.
month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. Like 100 is pretty good because if then if you close at a 10 or 20% rate, you're going to have 10 or 20 move-ins.
yeah. Well,
And that's
probably
kind
about
of
15 to 17.
that's
I
the
have,
market,
dude,
bro.
I have
That's the
16
market.
applications right now in 20 days, which is cool, right? Like I can get to 25 applications as long as I push hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's this
Oh,
one girl didn't have $2,100 yesterday to move into an apartment. I was like, she was bawling. I was like, I can't believe it's 1 month security. I was like, you're just be lucky you got approved. I don't have it. I'm living in a hotel. I was shocked she got approved. I was like, borrow the money, go to your friend, family, take out a loan, take a credit card advance. Like I was
yeah.
like having to coach her. She's like a grown ass woman, probably in
Right,
her
right,
30s.
right.
But it's the market right now or something.
Dude, it's the market. Yeah.
I have to like chase them down on a Google number. Hey, did you move in? No, I got declined. Why? They're like, credit. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. I think properties are getting a little bit more strict too. But then the pricing's going down, and it's funny. All these people are like readjusting to like these new prices, and I'm like, whoa! Just because the pricing's going down, like all of a sudden your budget just went like down too, and
Yeah.
then you're not even, then the qualifications for them, or maybe it's just the batch of people I've been getting. I don't know, and maybe this happens once or twice, in a year. But yeah, I think it's the market, dude. It's kind of
Wow.
interesting. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Because usually for me, it was about 20% or so. Like usually
wouldn't
for
work
me,
out.
like yeah, like 10 or 20%, like after the application is in, like they say, yep, I applied. Then it's like maybe 10 or 20% is like was normal business for
Yep.
me. That means
Yep.
out of 10, then like one or two, like okay,
Yeah.
one or two, whatever, that's normal.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, when the pricing comes down, the traction is low at these properties. Because if it was high, there'd be no problem with pricing. It would be the same. So it's interesting how it's corrected itself. So my friend Mike, he's down here right now. He's staying with me. He's trying
Oh,
to do
cool, cool.
locating in Florida. And you've met him before, the blonde
Yeah,
kid.
nice guy.
And yeah, dude, the pricing here is still very high. Like it's not changing here. It's just funny how like Texas has kind of like recorrected itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Florida's very expensive
Florida.
still, dude. It's like the same as it was 2 years
Yeah.
ago when it was like through the roof, not changing.
Yeah,
Specials, of course.
that's like the
There's
most
like 1 to 2
chaotic
months.
part. Florida, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale, dude, that's like the most chaotic market in the entire United States, bro.
Yep.
That's really cool that you could figure your path around that market. Because yeah,
Yeah.
that's like now that you've been working in Texas, isn't shit just calmer? It's just more calm compared to Florida, dude. Because you guys have like the price is higher. It's a bigger city, but also way more properties, and like some are like, dude, some properties in Florida I feel like are everything there is old and then maybe renovated or maybe not renovated. And like,
It's only Class A properties that pay for the most part. All the
got
new
it.
ones. There's like, dude, there's a shit ton of new ones
Uh,
being put up right now. So
so there's no
I,
class C that
not really. I mean, there
really
is,
pay.
dude, but like you would never get paid and like you wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, 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 exactly. That's
Dude, the
like the
Class B and
chaos.
Class C properties are like condos. It's like there's a lot of condos and they're old, right? Some of them can be nice. And
Right,
sometimes,
yeah,
and those are
yeah,
the least expensive ones because the amenities aren't Class A. There's a pool always in Florida, like everywhere. Like if you don't have a pool, then
yeah. Even the
like
class
you're
B.
living real shitty. Like your building really didn't have it together when it was built, regardless of if it was built in the 60s or 70s. So those would be like the Class B, Class C properties. Like I live in a Class B condo building. The reason it's Class B is because it was built in the 60s, but it's
Okay.
been renovated, right? The
Yeah,
amenities are a
yeah,
little bit older, but it's very clean. A lot of gay people live over here, so like they keep it clean. Like the board of
yeah.
director,
That's
president's
great.
gay, and it's good. It's good for the
That's
building.
good.
So it's like a
Good.
Class B
Yeah.
condo. But yeah, man, it's just a Class A. So I have him targeting like all these buildings. So he's out he's out doing tours and getting content.
I see. Just to like get
Yeah.
a familiar as well.
Yeah. I said, dude, don't overthink this. Just start fucking posting ads. I said, you got to get people going. I said,
Yeah,
but
exactly. You just have to get the quantity of the ads out there. You just got to be online,
yep.
and then because dude, all the time, as long as they call, then you can bombard them with. It's like the pitch we just did a few moments ago. You get on, you say hi, you say, hey, this is the deal. It's free, but it's free
Yep.
because we hope you remember us. And as a company, we like to give you $100 voucher when your stuff's in boxes. Sound good? Yeah. And you go, yep. And then the second you're approved, boom, we'll make sure that your utilities are set up, and then you get the best prices for everything. That's another free service we do as a company. And they're like, well, shit, I'm in good hands.
Yeah.
And then you just continue to talk to them, and then it just becomes a follow-up game. So it's like it doesn't matter what ads they really come in from, as long as like they respond on an ad and you can are able to talk about it. Because you can't just if
Right.
someone's like, "Hey, I'm interested in this apartment," and you just like don't even talk about it, they're
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
As long as you're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's this property. It's located here in the city. They're built here, and I think that's a good property. But we can show you other options that might be better. Some might have
Yeah.
specials." And they're like, "Really?" You're like, "Yeah," and then you could go into it. But
Yep.
yeah, it's not like locating isn't the perfect job, but it's not like you're selling anything to people. It's free, and
Yep.
it's just fast paced, bro. That's the challenge. Is that it's not we're not it's sales, but we're not selling really anything. We're helping them for free. So it's all about your ability to make them feel comfortable, and then just follow up. Because
Yeah.
it's so fast paced, man. It's follow up.
It is.
So again, I was saying that I had a solution basically
Yeah.
for
I was gonna ask you that.
yeah, it's been floating around in my head for a while, but I know that this has to be done eventually. So as an apartment locator, um, I think that, dude, we have to employ somehow, I don't know how it's going to work exactly, but we have to employ an appointment setter in the business.
Yeah.
So an appointment setter that has access to our Locator IQ CRM, because that's like where, the pipeline lives and all the conversations, whether it's Instagram, whatever, from whoever. So I think that hiring a dedicated appointment setter, dude, appointment setters in the market now for the coaching industry usually can handle like 200 to 400 people in a day, right? Like that.
That's a lot.
Those are just the
Just follow
numbers.
up. Is that what you're
Yeah, it's
saying?
just like every single day, the like 200 to 300.
Yeah.
400 is kind of crazy, but 200 to 300 is like the accepted number a day, dude.
That's a lot. I mean, if
So
you think about it, you got to wake
yeah,
up and just
and
that's all you
sometimes it's
do.
necessary. But yeah, it's you wake up and that's kind of all you do. So what I was thinking is like how great would it be? And we should solve this between like us, like you first. But
Yeah.
this is what we could replicate. So we hire an appointment setter, and then on a daily basis, if we're busy one month and we have 150 leads, let's say in a month, dude,
Yeah.
that's like half of what they're used to dealing with on a
Right.
daily basis.
Right.
So if we're letting them know, look, we're gonna have 150 people in a month. Like, dude,
Right.
an
Like
appointment
sitting
center will be
here.
all over that, like
Yeah.
nothing. So I think we employ an appointment setter. We do a little bit of training with them, like, hey man, this is how the business works. Explain what locating is. And then
Yeah.
you go, great. So now you know what it is. This is what the pipeline looks like in IQ. And we show them, look, these are new leads you should probably talk to with
Yep.
the idea of pushing them to a call. And
Yeah.
then we go over like these are people that are touring. So, but basically everyone has to be followed up with at like
Yeah.
once a day, right?
You think once a
Like,
day?
yeah, dude, I think once a day or every other day. And
Would you
maybe
say, I
one,
mean, would you have the appointment setter just say that there's someone from the company so it doesn't look weird? Where it's like, hey, this is John with All City Real Estate or NAL. Hey, it's John with NAL. Alex is your locator. Is there anything I can do for you? Or I mean, how would you approach that where it wouldn't
yeah,
get
so
like too
it's one of two
awkward?
ways. I think that, like you said, it's either they introduce themselves, and so on the call we can prep them for that, and say, yeah, my assistant might reach out to you like every other day just to make sure that you're taken care of. So we can do it that way, or we just don't even have to, bro. We could just have them respond on your behalf. That's what
Yeah,
a lot of the industry is doing that now
they
for the
are.
yeah, they're just like speaking as if it's you.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I have my
And
assistant do it. She just does like guest cards and emails like as if it was me. And she has a
yeah, I mean,
template and
so
just sends it
well, the guest card and all that stuff, yeah. But or
with
we could,
follow up, you're saying.
yeah, for follow. I mean, we could just introduce them as who they are.
Yeah, it could be like a team effort, like, hey, we're team NAL or we're NAL
Yes,
and we
and so
have
we might
and
as
then
well.
it's like we have you covered with our whole team that's looking out for your best interest in different ways with different properties in the area you're looking for. NAL Connect, gift card. Oh, and if you move in, we have another special present, whatever, right? Is that the angle you're trying to think of? Like
Yes,
where,
dude, it's the only way I see this working like in the smartest way is you
yeah,
have like one appointment setter and dude, one appointment setter could do both of our leads easily, like
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
even 150 leads in a month is like fucking they're doing that per day.
Yeah, right.
So
And dude, I'm game for that because, especially working with you now and taking sales calls eventually when it's at a high level, I'm not going to have time to follow up with all these people at
no,
all. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, I can take a call, right? Cool. And then it's like, here they are. These are the touch points that have to happen. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
very
yeah,
anal
yeah.
about it because
Yeah,
if I don't
standard of
touch
protocol.
base, I get crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
we create a standard of protocol that says, hey, they have to be responded every single day unless the client card says, all right, well, they've agreed to tour Friday and today's
right, then
Tuesday.
you're not going to bother them. And you
No,
just
like
follow
just
up like,
don't
hey, you're
bother.
going out Friday, right? Like just a
Yeah,
reminder, you're going out to tour. I always do that because it actually really
yeah.
helps like the closing. I don't let them just say, like if I talk to someone today on a Wednesday, they're like, I'm going on Friday to go tour these properties. Okay, sweet, awesome. I'll send a friendly reminder Thursday night, like, hey, just want to confirm, are you still planning to go out? Do these times still work for you? It just helps with engagement, I feel like, and it's always helped me close more. Because if I followed up like after they tour, half of them probably didn't even go or more. And then they're like, oh, who are you again? Like, you know?
Yeah, yes. So we have yeah, absolutely. So if we built that right into the standard of protocol for the setters, and look, they will be able to handle it because it's not like we're giving them 150 leads every single day. And that's like
Right.
what they're used to. So we're giving them 150 leads a month. So it's like, hey man, go in there, look at your job every day. So go through every single client card, see what's happening. Okay, they're scheduled for Friday and today's Tuesday. So go ahead
Yeah.
and put in a task for yourself in there and say follow up on Thursday afternoon reminding them to go on the tour. So it's in the
Yeah.
standard. We build a standard of protocol that says remind them when they're on the tour, and then if not, every single day you're reaching out to them to see how we can help. If they don't respond, that's okay. Then you just wait until you give them a day in between.
What do you pay these
Out
people? I
the
mean,
next
can
day.
you give them like, you can't really give them a
That's
commission.
that's like what we're
I mean, you
you
could.
can you
It's a
can
very
give them
gray area again,
dude
but you
you
have to
can
be
give them a
careful with
you
that.
can give no you can it's just so yeah it is a gray area so Trek says that like okay say the building pays us the check so we have
Yeah.
a commission
NAL
check
LLC.
like this one right here $5,700 commission from the Kirby Texas Limited Partnership in Dallas. Just
Yeah.
locator commission. So we get the check. You can't in your books, well, however you organize it, like in QuickBooks, you can't be like, all right, well, this percentage goes out of the check,
Yeah.
goes
Can't
to
do a
appointment, like
disbursement.
an unlicensed. No, you can't do that. But as long as you organize it to where you're like, hey, this is the, and we're going to do a contract job duty, a job description and a duty, job duties the role. It's going to be legit on a DocuSign. I already have DocuSign.
Yeah.
It's really easy to do. So it's going to say, we can say, hey, your base, it has to be like base salary
Yeah.
plus bonus because it has to make sense. So we say, hey, your base salary is, I don't know, 500 a month. Maybe they're overseas. That's because that wouldn't work in America, but like 500 a month base salary, like overseas. And then
Yeah.
we tell them, uh, whenever, like every single person that applies and gets approved, you get a $50 bonus. And then
Yeah.
if you like for the
Like
first
that.
five, for the first however many, for the first three, the first five, you
Yeah.
get $50 bonus. And then
Yeah.
past five, like 5 to 10, you'll get a $75 bonus. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just throwing numbers out there. Maybe we rework the
So
numbers.
50
But then
times 5, 50. Yeah. I get where your head's at.
and then it's like 75, and then it's like, okay, past 10, you get $100 bonus every time these
Yeah.
people actually apply for the month, and then it resets next month. Because you can
Yeah.
pay someone a salary and then
Yeah.
bonus for like good
Give a
work, like
bonus.
KPIs that are being met. You can give them a bonus, but that
Yeah.
has to come out of your
Your
own
company
like your
expense.
company's checking account, not like
Yeah,
directly right
not
off the
like a
check.
direct
Yeah.
disbursement
Yeah.
form.
You can't just like split
Yeah,
up
yeah,
the
yeah,
check
right. That
that
would
way.
be very bad. You don't do it like that. Yeah, I get, and I actually like that idea a lot. I mean, like I really, really like my VA. Like I would train her, and I think she'd be totally down. She's already doing like all kinds of shit. She understands the business pretty
That's
well.
big, bro. I have a VA like that too, Racing. I'm putting him on collections, but
Yeah,
uh but he understands the business well because he's worked with me for like years. And so
yeah,
he like knows everything to do with it. And perhaps I will perhaps that would work too.
yeah,
So we just have to structure something that could work. But dude, I think 4 or 500 a month, maybe 400 a month plus these
Yeah.
bonuses. Dude, we could just spoil them on the bonuses
Yeah.
because if they do 10 closings in a month, say at a $75 average,
Yeah.
then that's
And they're
750.
getting 750
That's
plus
750
250, but I mean they'll
plus
get $1,000
plus.
a month. Is that enough?
Well, maybe we
Or
do a 400.
1250
Do
or
a
I mean
400.
basically you give them like a lease, it sounds like. Like if they're doing like 10 to 15, it's like you pay them $1,500, maybe like 10% essentially is,
Sure, yeah, yeah, and we'll rework the numbers where it
or it'd
makes
be
sense.
more.
But you have
Yeah,
to
I'm
call
just
it
trying to
bonus.
like figure out like my time and everything because,
Dude,
you
this is
know,
the only way it would work at scale too. Once we're like blowing stuff up, you're not gonna have time to follow up with anyone. So like think about it,
yeah,
like the ultimate solution would be appointment setters. And then
yeah.
I don't want to
And
like
everything's done through the CRM, like in there, like all the
dude,
messages.
yes, but here's something else that I should probably show you. And I don't want to like overwhelm you. That's why I'm saying like let's start small, maybe, but let me just like paint the bigger picture for you just so you like understand. But
Yeah.
I don't want to blow your mind that much because it's just then we'll have like multitasking syndrome where nothing
Stay there
gets
for 1 second. Hang on.